Hello, my name is Cthulhamonster. Welcome back to my ATM Gravitas 2 series. Please ignore the loud monsters yelling, and yes, the only way I know how to walk in my own home is backwards. But yeah, this is my ATM Gravitas 2 early game Let's Play series, which I think maybe I'm going to drop the early game now that we are so far along, and we are about to get into the LV. But yeah, this is episode 20. I can't believe it. This is my first episode 20 I've done in a series, so time flies for sure. Last episode, we were able to investigate the diesel engines and then get our automated charcoal going. And I'm going to be honest, barely any time has passed since then, other than me messing around with this new camera mod that I was showing off at the end of last episode. Eternal introduced me to that mod. They've done some shorts, and I believe are editing their first Gravitas video. I'm not quite sure there, but have to give them a shout out. I have been hunting for a mod to let me do any type of good visuals with modded Minecraft. So the CMD mod, CMD cam mod, I think it's called, really works out wonders. But now you're gonna have to suffer my cinematic tours of this place, even my mess. This episode, I really want to get into getting those create diesel, getting that processed at a larger scale. I think it's time, and we definitely have the ability to do so. Now let's continue walking down this path. And then I do need to get get my warehouse figured out. So yeah, we'll see where it comes from because I've been promising a few things lately, and then halfway through ADHD kicks in and I have no memory. But it's time for these pump jacks to go. Like activate, not be disappeared. Let's see what we get up to here today. One thing I am going to do is to stop, not stop, but make sure I'm not using, I don't think of the word for this. I'm not going to use shaders too often, just because not everyone can do it, and I'll also, like, I just get distracted. I'm like, oh my god, look how fancy this brick is. And that's not really what I want to do. This is, like, I can enjoy this without shaders. We could enjoy this without shaders, right? I need to make more of the distillation controls. We're gonna need a few of these because it's for every, it almost seems like it's for every block of the distillation tower. And we have two items that come. So I want to do a 2x2 that's 3 high. So that would set us at 12 total. And yeah, so we're going to need some more of these, which that clock compass is going to be the problem. So let's make some brack mechanisms while we can. And then I also need to finally make that set of jacks that I mentioned before. I don't think I have anything else that I want to process right yet. I've been keeping up on the processing for the stuff around us. You might notice that we're getting a little too a little too much, just a scooch. We're gonna have to find another spot to put our ores. So that's definitely you. I love it when you can feel that you're outgrowing a space, because then it's like, oh, yep, I should get going. No, lot less guilt in my eyes about moving on and expanding. Good gosh, I'm so excited. We finally are done on this deep miner. It has pulled out so much gold. Guys, I can't even, oh my gosh, I almost walked right off the edge there. Ah, we're not done. I mean, the gold is great. We appreciate having wealth. It definitely feels like a never-ending thing of gold. Very much a rich person's problem. But gosh darn it, one day we'll get in there. And it's nice to have sulfur, more sulfur, but yeah, let's get some creosote for this. I'm so excited because once that moves, I can kind of get in design here. So yeah, I am going to try to do my first time lapse over here. See if my new computer can handle a separate instance of the pack. But that does mean that from here and probably like the last 2 episodes back, the hours that I have at the bottom of the dealio, because I do like to tag how many hours about this takes, are going to be inflated with a lot more of like the video editing side as I set up scenes and I have some fun just from like a cinematic moment. I know they're gonna be very corny, but I being a little cringe. I'm old. I gotta, you know. But yeah, just as a heads up, I was trying to keep them separate, and it just wasn't really working for me. Same with the F3. Sorry, my new keyboard. I'm not sure if I'm liking it. May have to return it because the function keys aren't on the default. Um, or I'll have to see if I can set it up. But you can see it's saying 567 days. That's not quite correct when I look at the amount played. So I believe sleeping and whatnot is having an effect on it. I'm not sure. So I do plan on setting on making a 20 days episode and probably calling it 500 days, and maybe I'll put something cheeky in the chat that says it's this or this. Who really knows how many days it is in this mod pack? I mean, we do. It's probably this one where it says the settings, but yeah. So for your knowledge, the hours are going to get a little conflated, and hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of how much time this stuff takes. My goal is to never be like, hey, you can do all of this in one weekend. This pack is on for better or worse, not a weekend pack in my opinion. Because to get really substantial distance, you do have to put a lot of time into it, but I like that. That's what I enjoy, is that I have to work for it. And guys, we were cavemen 500 days ago, or the equivalent. We were just picking ores off the ground, and now I'm drowning in them. Who would have thunk? And in time, we'll get to space. We'll have a dragon overlord, the dreams of us all to have a dragon lord, right? All right, I'll get back to this. So I am going to be working on this processing building over here. I did have a pretty good moment. Oh, I was in creative and hanging out on the Discord VC for ATM Gravitas, and just kind of came up with some ideas. Did a build for this, and really did a lot of the design, which not my common one. Normally I get really bored in creative, so it's just I wanted to make sure this really worked for what I wanted, and I didn't want to spend the price in survival. Something I'm still considering on whether or not how often I'm going to be doing that. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I think this build looks amazing. It is so expensive. Creative me has no sense of, well, totally has a sense of price, but doesn't care. Where in-game TFC me is like, that's gonna be painful. And I did find out that this right here is a infinite water source of salt water, so that made me laugh so much. Of course, the moment you're not really looking for it, you find it. All right, and I did realize my configs here for these miners did switch to, what's the word for it? Switch back to hardened granite, so I'm going to have to kind of fix that later. But in the meantime, I will adapt. I got some ideas for a future build back there anyway, so it's not too bad. And I think I'm going to end up having to turn this or figure out this direction of this pump jack a little bit. Maybe we'll do a smaller one here, because the entrance to my new building is going to be right over there. I have a lot of materials to grab. This is going to be pricey and well worth it. I did decide that I am going to use some of my blue steel here. Since the blue steel double ingots can only be used for blaze burners in the anvil, I'm going to have 4 blaze burners on this distillation tower. I don't see a point in going bigger than that. It would just look really chunky, to be honest. All right, so let's grab the create schematic cannon. So if I pop this in, I could save my outpost for my oil and dealio. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go grab my clipboard so we have a shopping list. So here's our schematic. Similar to last time, I just need to get a potential spot. It looks like oh, yeah. So it's not going to work with the shaders, so I will bring you in I'm going to leave this one a surprise. You guys don't get to see it early. Sometimes I do, but let's hold off on this time. And we are going to have an elevator down to the lava here too, which I'm very excited about because I think it's time. It's going to be very pretty. So I was working on a few things here, and one thing I did do is I'm going to get the haunting section here installed. It's not quite perfect because I do want to, what is the word for this? I need to figure out how I think I may have to give up on an exit or just go through the side. And I only have acacia right now for my chest, so oopsies. But I do need some of this material for the future. In particular, one block I want to use is umber bricks from Art Deco. And those require you to have scoria in there, which is soul sand. And soul sand, obviously, we can haunt for that. So can be haunted. We're gonna add that to the attribute list as a deny. Throw it there, and then I just need to get a dealio. And I immediately delete part of what I done, you know, as one does. And then I just got that there. And then I could put the zinc bars here. I'll need a copycat panel to do it. That's what I'm seeing. Elevator pulley. That's what I'm trying to make. Just getting sideways distracted on a lot of stuff. Which I'm very excited to have this haunted, but I do need to get a real funnel in there instead of the itty bitty because it does slow it down a bit because it can't drop full chunks in. I need to make a lot of small gold things, so I'm gonna actually just take down one of my towers of gold. Let's start with this one. I can resist making a big one of these until we move. I'm so excited. This looks like a good haul. I'm gonna process up some iron and make a new hammer because I broke mine without a replacement. That's how you know you were doing a lot of processing of stuff. When you straight up don't even have your hammer anymore. You're like, oops. And this I actually found right over by our new base area, so very excited about it. Thank gosh you can use crappy hammers to make make stuff. Cause I cannot believe I missed this. So these are I busted mine. This is a very grindy episode. I'm really excited for what we're going to be doing with the distillation area and all of that, but golly gee. But I don't mind the grind. I just worry that hopefully it's entertaining enough for you guys and inspires you to also embrace the grind because you also must suffer. And that's just really the other part of the statement. Join us. The madness is real. So I think we're going to be able to automate glass actually here in the Steam Age. So I am macerating up some sand now that I have the update, and I should be able to work with this quartz sand and some flint. And I need to make glass dust now. So, okay, so now I should be able to put the block here, the casting block in here, and be able to get our uh, glass this way. I want all of it, so I'm just going to do 15. That's so amazing. So happy. I'm also trying to figure out, oh, I know where I put the windows in this build. I didn't have any idea. This is the first time I'm trying to make, like, using, I have wattle I need to make, so I'm just gonna, like, make a tower of wattle here. Because I don't think there's a way you can do this without the terrible way. So I need to make 128 of these, so let's grab some trees. Oh my god, too much clicking. I got a new keyboard, and I got tiny hands. I've been using up this creosote, so I've been pretty impressed with how much I haven't been overflowing that. All right, so I did get the majority of the stuff here on the list. I don't have the steel tanks yet in there. I'm gonna need 2 sets of those that are pretty decently high. So for the moment though, I think I have the majority of everything. And what I was gonna do is just kind of set up a little time lapse here. Let's see if it works. It's always a big goal. And for the first time, I had too much stuff for the chests. That's what I've discovered. So I just made a quick tank vault and emptied my storage into it. All right. So yeah, let me bring you in once this is complete. All right, so I am loving this. I will say that. I'm not quite sure about the orientation of this pump jack. Maybe we'll do a small one here and do larger ones over on this side and this side. Just be like, yeah, we needed to put one here, but we didn't have the ability not to. And these guys are going to be going to those 3 pump jacks. I think I've mentioned earlier that I do have a lot of different, I have a lot of uh, oil chunks in this area, so I'm going to consolidate the amount. So there's going to be a little bit there that's going to be me messing with the world gen, which hopefully folks will be okay with. Gosh, it is hilarious to see these come in. So I didn't give them the steel tanks yet, so we'll add those in. And these are all the Greg Tech pipes that I put together. We'll need to get these going. This is going to be an elevator that goes down to lava level, and it's going to have a lava tank here. And I got 2 fluid interfaces on either side. Those will have some logic built in. I'm going to go free cam for a second here. In this building here up on the top, I plan on putting the logic for the redstone links I plan to set up. But for the moment, I'm okay using those manually, setting these up manually till I dig it down. All right. And I have one creature here I need to give a straw. There we go. Now they're all 4 set up. And yeah, I think I'm going to put in, I'm going to work on getting these Greg Tech Steam vaults in and then reconnecting all of these lovely, lovely Delios pipes. And then we can look to move this oil over. And then the other thing that is going to happen here, and you can kind of see some of my setup, I got the 2 pipes coming out here, but this is going to be the end of our, we're going to have a train station, not train station, a train rail here that's going to head in that direction for our final train station, which right now I'm thinking here, but maybe we'll end up putting it here if I need to get a longer ride. Because I do want to also get a spot for the ships. One thing I definitely need is some I need some orange and yellow dyes. So that's what we're going to be on the hunt for. I did just steal most of the flowers from our garden area. So there's that. Hopefully this gets us what we need, but we'll figure it out if needed, if need be. And then the other thing is I do need to dig. Oh, that's going to be so cool. I did replant some of these trees. I do want to keep some trees in here. I just need them to be in different locations for, the view. And I might just rip out all of this and replace it with this browner stuff, or I go with the lighter mud brick. So since that's not likely to happen in this next episode, let me know your thoughts. You may help me decide. I think I'm going to let the bees populate. All right, so these guys are going to be one's for gasoline and one is for diesel. These are the create gasoline and diesel. And I actually designed this whole building around this processing, so that we can so I can just kind of make this condensed in here. So this is the boiler here. This is where I'm going to be plugging in the raw oil at the bottom of this, but I also need lava here at this location. So this is going to be our lava connection source along this route. I'm using the create wrench for this because otherwise I use durability, and I don't want to use that. So this is where my lava is going to come in. It needs to go over my output here. One moment. And it's definitely not like a fully finished build, but it's pretty darn close, I would say. I don't have any of my facades on here, which will help me blend it into this roof and whatnot. This is what I'm seeing right here so I plan on connecting my Delio through here. This is going to connect to a fluid interface, and once this is glued together to become a full elevator, it will be able to read this fluid interface, which is right below here, and that lava container down there. And this elevator will go down to the lava level. All right, so there's my lava all connected up. And then, yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, I plan on putting the logic up here. I just need to figure out a way to go and look at it. I did consider putting the elevator going all the way up here, but that kind of defeats the logic space. We'll think about it as I hook that up. But yeah, so that is going to be the connection there. The crude fuel is going to come in here. And I have 2 outputs that need to come from here. So this is where my outputs are. My crude fuel needs to connect on the bottom here. Yeah, looks like I will need to get the crude oil a connection. All right, and that's going to go up and over. Perfect. I'll bring you in once I have the piping reworked out, and then we will put in these two real craft tanks in here. I also grabbed my frame ladders because it looked like the machine didn't place those either. And I have umber bricks and industrial steel facades, so I can finish cleaning that up. So with the industrial steel facades, this is one area that needs them. And it goes here and here. You can see it kind of forms that. It's very similar to AE2 if you've ever played that, here and here. And then it allows you to put it right along the edge there. I like to put it on the machine on the pipe that is oh, I thought they didn't get used up, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to tell, because I know it's not intentional, but it does get used up. This is a very expensive aesthetic, but they will stay if you put them on the block. So you can basically surround any pipe with all 6. So in this case, I needed to do it on 2 pipes, but not all sides, so I was able to do it with just 1 set of casings. I need to do it over there as well, so I'll do another set. And this is just kind of like a little support that I wanted to put in to support the pipes. And same situation over here. I actually have the umber brick facade here, and I'm just gonna put it on the one here. And I want to make sure that this side of the pipe has it so that these bars look clean and on the back here. And then I'll need to put it on the other side as well. And this door, I don't know if I told you guys yet. I know I said a train, but this door is going to lead to the train back over on this side. Here we go. So now that I've done those facades, it kind of shows you how that'll finish these up, which I'm really excited for. So let's do the orange one first. And what I'm going to do is these are going to be right up against this catwalk here. So this is going to be our maintenance access for both of these tanks. And we're just going to go for a 3x3 here because I just don't have the height. Not the height. I don't feel the need to go any taller than this, if that makes sense. Sorry, wider. It just gets really overbearing in a build. So I'm not going to. And this is how tall I'm going, which I believe is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is just 1 below the max, but I like odd numbers a little bit better for my builds. So that's why I'm going to do that. And then with these valves, I have 1 here for the output, which is where you're seeing it come up and over in here, and then 1 here for the input. So that kind of was my reasoning for a good portion of this. And then I'll be using that black glass gauge here at the front and all the sides because I think it goes really well. Oops, excuse me. Do. Excellent. And yeah, it is nice that when I did build in my design, I did build in maintenance, which has really helped me build this thing up and repair things as I kind of saw them coming up from saw them occur after we did the schematic cannon. So here we have, this has 2 million millibuckets, so it's 2,000 buckets, a little bit over that in capacity, which is absolutely more than enough. And then the same thing, we're going to put the diesel one here on this side. Same situation, a little bit of symmetry in our little processing factory here. And for your guys' notes, I don't know if you did know, but I put hickory up on top because the acacia was just way too bright when I was looking at this. And I was like, nope, I don't like it. Oh, then I fall on my face. And it really is tough when you put in these valves and you know you had to make 8 of them in one color. So I don't know how often I'm going to go for yellow as a color or orange. But we'll see. And I did see that I couldn't mix the colors as much. I think it's there so you can put pipes next to each other. That's what my chat was saying when I was doing this. All right, and then here is our next one. Excellent. So that is perfect. That's set up. I'm very excited. And then the framed stair is the next piece that we're putting in, which I'm going to put right here and have it going up. Oh, not there. And frame stair can be freestanding, which is amazing. There's not a lot of stairs that are like that in this pack that I could see. So we're going to use this as our way to get up to this catwalk. We get up here. We're happy. It's the wrong direction. Right block, wrong direction. Mainly because I have one extra tall so you can step off onto this side. And then we'll be able to access that to finish out the industrial piece there. And we're just going to use andesite, which has somewhat that same coloring as the Delio, to lock that in. I'm really sad those aren't freestanding because I love that little lip that goes over the top. Fantastic, I think it is. Excellent. So we need an LV pump to drain this guy, which I just realized we may want to build our own because I'm seeing it's not quite forming correctly. So let's just break this down and reset it up so that there's not any issue there. That's just one of those things with the schematic cannon with pipes and things like that. Don't feel like you have to. You can't take it down, I guess is my answer. You may have to is what I'm the other side of that coin. And I'm probably going to dig these out just all the way over and fix that up later on. But we got everything we need here. Now I just need to get the oil in here and we can see how this process is. And I just need to get a LV pump. And then here we could just use this to drain creosote into this site for the moment first lava, or we could go fill up a thing with lava. We'll fill up a thing with lava, why not? And in time we will have this guy running, but I don't have the patience to fill that right now, I'll be honest. And with this, I think I'm also gonna go get the excavator. Okay, spade, that's the word, not excavator, spade. So it is that's a 3x3. Okay, so I got my spade here, which is perfect. All right, and then, yeah, let's move this direction. Here's the power that was running before. All right, we definitely come up against my beginning of my tunnels, which I just realized. So that's where you were. My little nest of monsters. All right, let's put, that's why I carry around so many fire pits. Do I remember to use them all? No. I also do have a steel mining hammer. I just haven't had a reason to use it in a little while. So let's use this. Oh my. So this is where the water is. Good to know. Was not aware. I knew there was water near. I just wasn't aware it was right there. All right. So let's see here. So what do I need to do to connect? Okay, so I just need to connect these along this route. And then let's just check the arrows. So it's going the way I want. So it should be good to go. Let's see if this does it. So I see oil come in. And I see oil going up. Awesome. Let's get back up into our system over here. It's always fun when you've completely just ripped up the front yard. Time. Picture is not going to be very nice for this. Okay, so I see this looking fantastic. All right, so I'm going to be cleaning up the front yard here. I have listed out a few spots there and probably over there are where I'm going to put my next two Delios. And maybe we'll put a fourth one here because this is also an oil chunk. And I do kind of want to stick to the spirit of the oil chunks. But in the meantime, I do need to just proof this and relay out the mud and all that stuff to make this look just a little bit more put together. All right, and if they have casings on them, they won't break under collapse, which is why I do put the casings. It's a very nice way to protect your material, your stuff. I am also going to rip out my temporary setup here for the rock crusher. It doesn't belong here. And we've gotten a pretty good backlog of materials I need. So I will put it up the next time I need more. But it helped us definitely get to this build, so it was worth doing. So for some reason, the recording of me firing this up did not make it. We've processed all of our fluid so far. And right now I have some lava in here and I just got creosote as backup. I did panic at first when I ran this until I realized that the output pipes of these steam engines, they do automatically output, and I lost a decent amount of fluid. Like I think for each one of these normal small pipes is one millibucket here. So I had a moment of like, oh my gosh, it's just voiding itself. But no, they were discharging through to the other side. So just as a heads up, if you do this system, you might run into that to start. And of course, I did realize I played this whole thing without sound on here. So oops. And so now you get rain as the default. But here with the oil, we are down to 4. Basically, we've done about 100 buckets. I think 90 buckets actually, since I started. And that one in total should split between these two fairly well. So I'm not planning on digging up some of the other wells until I know I need them. Maybe we'll get started, but I won't put them running until we start using some of this fuel. It's a lot of fuel. But yeah, I love it. I think it's turned out pretty well. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun on this build. It is a little ridiculous. I'm so excited to have diesel and gasoline from the Create Additions mod, I believe, or the diesel generators mod. So we will have a little bit of a module power that we can move from our to our LV base, and I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. And next episode we are going to put a few more pump jacks around and sort out how much oil was actually on the swamp island. I am planning on like spreading it out between the 3 spots here, but that's a thing I'm not in a huge rush to look at it. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.